Hi everyone, this is a video review of the Soul of Chogokin GX71 Voltron. And after this review, please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now as for Voltron himself, here he is right in front of me in his box packaging. Now normally with my video reviews, I try to get through them as quickly as I can, mainly because most people don't have the attention span for a 30-minute long review. And also because when I first started doing YouTube reviews, people started complaining that they were taking too long. But as for this Voltron right here, I do believe that the many accessories and features it comes with warrant a longer review, so I'll definitely take my time with this one. And also because after my last Voltron review, some people had some questions about my last Voltron review, and the answers to which weren't in the Voltron review they saw, so this will definitely be a longer review. Going on to the review, here he is in the box. You can see Voltron holding the sword with both of his arms. You can see the Bandai, Tamashii Nations, and warning label on the bottom right-hand corner. And you can see it says Soul of Chogokin on the lower left-hand corner. And on the top, you can see Voltron, Defender of the Universe, along with a picture of the key on the top. On the bottom, it says the same thing with a picture of the key with the top portion slid to the right. And on this side, you can see a picture of Voltron in his combined mode. And on the other side, you can see Voltron in his separate line modes. As for the back, here you can see Voltron in his different poses. You can see him in his line modes. Here you can see Voltron in his iconic pose with the green line head facing the viewer and the sword pointed toward the other side. You can see poses of him in his combined mode. Voltron with his different accessories and the stand for his accessories. Comes with some nice stickers, so you can stick these numbers on the Voltron just like the Toonami Masterpiece Voltron had the numbers. And here you can see pictures of the lines separated, along with some descriptions in English. All these paragraphs are in English. However, if you slide this slipcover off, all of that wonderful English that you are able to read just disappears. At least any English that appears here will be different than the ones from the slipcover. For example, it says Go Line instead of Voltron on the front, and on the top, and on the bottom. That's basically what the original Voltron series was called in Japan. But, done talking about the box now. Now let's get this guy open and see how cool he actually is. And now here is the Chogokin Voltron opened up out of the packaging and split up into his 5 lions. Now, the Chogokin Voltron, it is without a doubt superior to the old Masterpiece Toonami Voltron, which I'll show you just a sec. Here you can see the arm lines on the left, leg lines to the right. Now, the arm lines are known to be smaller than the leg lines, and with this, it's definitely no exception. And also the black line is bigger than the rest of the other lions. And as usual, the other lions have better looking line modes than the black line. What I do like about the black line, though, is you can get the the wings spread out, like so. They can also still fold up. But just the fact that you can have the wings outward like this, just like Keith had the wings out in the comic books, is pretty cool. Now take a look at each lion. Start with number 2, the red lion right here. Let's see. As you can see, red line, it's really really almost completely red here, except for this portion and lion head. Now comparing him to the masterpiece Toonami one, this one definitely feels heavier as opposed to this one. That's because this is almost die cast, completely die cast, whereas this one I suspect the red part is not die cast. It's more in the legs. Now you do see the molded details better on this one and the panel lines. For example, the ones right here doesn't really have that here, and on the bottom you do get some nice better silver paint with this one. For the tail, I do like the longer, thicker tail right here, and this actually becomes the shoulder joint, just like the original classic Voltron toys, which I like, as opposed to this one, which is just pulled out. The elbow joint is really this piece at the end. Now, as for the Green Lion, here he is, along with the Toonami Masterpiece Green Lion. Now, this one is heavier, just like the red Toonami Red Lion was heavier than the Chogokin Red Lion. It also seems to be a darker green. The panel lines are really more pronounced in this one, mainly because they're wider here, whereas you can't really see this one well unless you're really looking for them. Here, I do kind of like how this 3 is longer here as opposed to this 3, which is just a square. I really felt they used the golden rectangle ratio for this one, which is why it looks cooler right here. Not much going on the bottom. Now, as for the leg lions, you can see the yellow lion right here. Now, compare this to the old Toonami one here, and as you can see, definitely looks a lot better on the Chogokin one. I mean, this one, he's sort of got a hunchback right here due to how low the head is, and I do really like how the head is much higher here. Definitely, this one definitely feels heavier. This one, when it comes to legs, the Toonami one feels slightly lighter. I suspect that the Toonami one is less hollow, whereas this one, more die cast, is used for both the body and the legs. I also like how you got these fins for wing fins near the tail, whereas you don't get that here, or at least you don't see it as well. Really do like this red part right here as opposed to this black part. Really do like how they painted this black. I mean, you can still see some lines right here, but they're really not as visible due to the paint on the yellow Chogokin one. And on the bottom, got some silver right here, not so much on here. The blue line, you can see a number right here. And again, compared to the old Toonami one, the head seems to be done much better because the neck is not all the way on the bottom. Now, there's definitely a few more details on the Toonami one that you don't get with the Chogokin one. I mean, you got the silver right here, you don't get that much here. On the bottom, you got some silver right here, not silver on the bottom right here. As for the black lion, really do like the silver on the wings here. You don't really get that with the Toonami one, which is just completely red. Definitely feel like The Chogokin one has more molded details than the much older Toonami one. So in terms of the body, definitely uses more parts for the symbol. Now these do have an ab joint right here, which can be lowered for the Chogokin lions. And here you can lower the crotch, go upward. It's a joint similar to the crotch joint on some Gundam figures and Hot Toys Iron Man figures, where you can lower this joint and you get more articulation in the legs. Although I don't really see, I guess it's less necessary here since it doesn't really have any waist flaps that would get in the way. Anyways, now someone asked me to do a comparison between this Voltron and the Ultimate EX Voltron, which came out shortly before this Voltron. So, for a side-to-side comparison, here is the Ultimate EX Red Lion and the Ultimate Chogokin Red Lion. Now, this definitely looks nicer. I do, again, Toonami Voltron, definitely more molded details on the Toonami one than with the Chogokin Lion. And some more paint. You got some nice shiny gray right here. Not so much with, actually none on the Red Lion except for the head. And you do get like better line modes with this. I mean, you can move. You can move the front part upward and really gives a more natural, believable feel to these lines as opposed to the Chogokin lines, which really seem to have a more straight look to them. And really do think they did the line modes justice with this one, because they clearly stated that they wanted better line modes as opposed, and that's why these don't look straight like the previous Voltron lines did. The front parts could go up, so you basically have a higher back section near the head. Same thing with the green line. You can definitely, especially around the numbers, you can definitely see more details with the Ultimate EX. And the red panel lines right here. Again, you got that crunch going upward. You can do the same, I guess, with these. Although it's really better when you make the front portion go up on the Ultimate EX, because it actually has the joint here. Whereas if you make this go upward, down forces the legs to go up as well. Now onto the leg lines. They definitely have a more rounded feel with the Ultimate EX lines. You definitely get more paint. For example, you get the gold right here. And that's definitely get more molded details since the gold rests on a piece above the yellow piece. And again, on the bottom, get some silver right here on the bottom. Not so much on the yellow Chogokin line. And with the blue line, it's pretty much the same deal. You can see the panel lines right here. They're yellow. Really can't see the panel lines well on here. And the neck joint really does look better. Here you just get like a skinny neck joint right here. On the bottom, you do get some nice silver on the bottom. None here on the Chogokin one. And as for the black line, here he is with the wings. I need to get this out of the way. Now, you can still get into some nice flying poses with the wings, but you'll have some difficulty getting the wings to rest on top of the arms. I mean, you can definitely pull it off if you have the legs forward like so. Again, you do have more paint right here. Got some nice black lines right here, like the diff shades of gray and silver here. And here, I do like the molded details here with these lines right here, as opposed to the symbol on the Chogokin one just looks flat right here. So all in all, I do think the Chogokin lines definitely better than the lines from the old Toonami Masterpiece Voltron, but compared to the new Ultimate EX lines from that Toonami has made, I do feel that the Ultimate EX beats these lines in terms of paint, molded details, and design, which is basically what Toonami was aiming with the Ultimate EX anyways. Better looking line modes and cooler looking redesigns. Well, that's it for line modes. Now combine them. And 2 is combine mode. Now first what you want to do is get the legs up. And as usual, you do want to get the legs folded up completely. Now it's not a necessity for you to get the heels to touch the ground, like with the Mattel Voltron line. This stands up really well on its own, just with the heads of the lions and the bottom of the legs. The back, hind legs folded up. You should also push the legs in. Like that. Fold the legs. Definitely push the legs in if you haven't already. Same thing with, hold on. Whoops, wrong red line there. Got a bunch next. Got like 2 other sets of Voltron next to me for comparison. I'm going to get the tail here. Now for this one, get the legs down. These wings fold down. Wait, I already showed that. You want to open the hatch on top of the legs. Should be, no wait, yeah. Do think open up right here. The legs in. Hold on, this should be straight. Now, one of the annoying things, especially with these classic Voltron figures or Voltron figures made after the original cartoon, is you never like the gap made when you transform these legs and push them in on these transforming Voltron figures. But what they did with this Voltron figure is pretty clever. You can actually press this switch in, and that allows the lion legs to snap together with the chest. I really thought that was really clever. Now you may have some difficulty at first pushing this in. I mean, I definitely did. It's definitely a really tight fit. Now, if you do have any trouble, you can just have a screwdriver and that'll help you push the switch in. I actually don't recommend using the screwdriver unless it's a last resort, since putting so much pressure on such thin line right here might damage this switch. So if you do have a better way of pushing the switch in, definitely go for it. But definitely try it with your hands first, because you're definitely less likely to damage this switch with your fingernails and skin than you would with a screwdriver, obviously. So just push this in. Best idea is to have one finger on top of here and another finger touching at the very bottom of this space here. So you have both. And then just push as hard as you can. Looks like I have to do this off camera. Afterwards, get the wings into the right position. And for dramatic effect, I guess I'll do the head portion last. So for this, these legs down. I do believe these make sort of a nice clicking sound. Now the way you do this, you open that hatch, you really push the leg in, close the hatch, and yeah, that keeps the legs really nice and secure. And I don't believe how secure these legs are. I could shake this up and down like crazy, and they won't fall down. Now don't take my word for it. I am not saying you should do this, but I personally am not afraid of the leg lines falling off because of how secure they fit onto the black lion. You can get the head down. Now here is the Chogokin Voltron in his combined mode. Now, before I forget to mention it, you can actually slide his chest up like so. Oh, and don't forget you can push this crotch section up in its combined mode. Should snap right in. No need for a switch or anything. Oddly enough. Now, articulation on this figure is really fantastic. The head, go up and down, left and right about that much. The arms, rotate all the way around. They make that nice clicking noise. Now you can push the arms up for more articulation. Of course, you want the side with the articulation seams, and they go 90 degrees at most. So for the legs, you can split these apart, and unlike the Toonami diecast Voltron, these don't fall together like that. And I'm surprised that they actually managed to pull this off, given how heavy these leg lines are. I mean, if you turn it, yeah. Try to have Voltron lying down. Obviously, the legs will fall down, but just the fact that you can spread these legs out while holding it upward is really fantastic. Get some thigh swivel right here, although there's something blocking it from going all the way around. Leg articulation, before I get the leg on, bend all the way back, but with the leg, only seems to go like 45 degrees. Elbows can rotate all the way around. hips, just a little bit to the left and the right. Nice ankle pivot right here. Feet can go down or upward. They can go up pretty far, although I'm not sure why you'd want them to go up. It's really, a lot of the weight is really held up by the head when you have it in any standing pose, especially when you're holding the weapons. I mean, he's holding the weapons. Okay, size comparison time. Here is the Chogokin Voltron next to the Ultimate EX Voltron. Not counting the wings, this is the Ultimate EX is about 1.5 times the size of the Chogokin Voltron. Now, you can definitely see some improvements that Toonami made to the original Voltron design with the Ultimate EX. Ultimate EX definitely looks more like a Voltron that a comic book artist would draw, whereas the Chogokin Voltron is really more accurate to the way he looked in the cartoon and the way the original toy looked. Now, you definitely can do more with the Chogokin Voltron. It's definitely smaller, a bit more articulate. It definitely comes with a lot more weapons here, whereas this one doesn't come with the weapons for the line modes. And the way you arrange these weapons is much like how you put the limbs on Voltron. See, these are the parts for the blue lion, these are the parts for the yellow lion, and here are the parts for the red lion, the black lion in the middle, and the green lion on the right. You can just slide this in. Now, I won't go over all the weapons. Seem to run out of time. The max time on my camera is about 30 minutes, and I don't really want to do like 2-part reviews again. I don't regret the time spent, though. I really felt the comparisons were important to this video. More on this Voltron right here. The number 5 sticker unfortunately kept peeling off. Unfortunately, the adhesive wasn't strong enough, so I had to take it off. Even though it didn't stick very well, it sure did leave a bad residue, which I spent quite a bit of time trying to wipe off. If they do make repro labels and a better sticker for this, I definitely will buy it and apply them. More on the overall robot design. One thing I never really cared for with the original Voltron design is just how wide the upper part of his chest is. It's not so wide on the Ultimate EX. Now, the difference between the Chogokin one and the Ultimate EX, I do think the Ultimate EX tries to improve on the original Voltron design and polish up all the flaws that the original Voltron design had, whereas the Chogokin one, I think, really is a more show-accurate and toy-accurate design that really does not try to hide those flaws, but really embrace what the original Voltron toy and cartoon looked like. I mean, the chest is really wide here. The arms are much skinnier than the legs. And the head right here is basically just the classic Voltron head from the toys in the cartoon. So, as I expected when I made the Ultimate EX review, the Ultimate EX does certainly look better than the Chogokin Voltron, but I do think the Chogokin Voltron makes up for that with a lot of the engineering in this toy. I mean, you can open the jaws, got nice missiles here. You can even take these heads off, and if you got like a Tamashii Nations display stand, you can put these on them, make them look like they're flying out. There's even like missiles, blasters inside the arms, the arm lions. And you can extend or collapse these elbows here. You can bend these. You can still rotate these. So, as the maker of many toy robots, Bandai really did a good job with the engineering on the Chogokin Voltron. Now, to compare the articulation with the Chogokin Voltron and the Ultimate EX Voltron, since someone asked for it in my last review, go over it one more time. The arms can definitely go a full 360, but the wings might get in the way. Definitely fold them down though. Whoops, the sword fell. You can bend the elbow like so. A little more here, but then you can't like rotate this piece. I mean, you can, but then this whole thing goes with it. And still, elbows can still rotate around. Legs can go up, backwards. Again, the crotch can go up for a better look. Legs can bend. Bit better than the Chogokin. Better than the Chogokin, I'd say. Don't really get much thigh swivel there, but there's like a ball joint here. You can go out about that much, but again, you can get the crotch joint out, so it can go a bit further, but only about like that. Legs, these can go turn left and right like so. Can't go down because once you get these legs together, it's locked. But if you get them out, definitely go down like so. And as for the head, you can look up and down, left and right that much. Go all the way up due to the way, because it can transform. And the waist, left and right, only turns about that much. Left and right. Okay, more on the head. I just discovered that you can get it to look up and turn all the way around. So, oddly enough, whoops, it's on a ball joint. In the arms, they can move to the right here. And obviously you can extend this portion out so you can get more articulation in the arms. Now, all in all, both are great figures. This one costs a bit more at about 300 versus 350. Definitely recommend getting both. If you'd rather have a figure that's a bit more articulated and has the lines